Congrats every time I'm through. Same pack and nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel got a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up.
Coach, a terrific night for football as EA Sports takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in the capital city of Denver, Colorado. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. And the Mile High air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
It is one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A shotgun snap for Watson. Steps away to his left. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. It's caught by Mike Evans. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 21.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Watson on first down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point try good by Gano, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
At the 34-yard line.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. This is the tight end Fant. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They run it with McKinnon. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Wilson. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
Let's go. Do it. A gain on the play. That's good for Broncos. 1st down.
And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
Here's Wilson to throw. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll make it 2nd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
At the 46-yard line.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Raiders 7. Broncos nothing.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the 1st half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Out of the gun, Watson, and that is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, and his first carry of the game right there, he had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Check 53. Check 53. We own them. 53's the mark. 53. Check 53. Got you. I got you, son. I got you, son. Let's go. And we got mine.
On second and 11 now. Watson, flush to his right. Got him in. It's Brown. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Set. 19. 53's the mark. Check the out. Check the out. 54. Hustle. 53. 53. Mike. Come on, the ball.
Here's Watson. Dancing to his left. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Buying time to his left. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Now it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson now throwing again. He's got Green. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 20-yard line. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Here's Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Throwing again on second down. Wilson toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, and that'll make it third down.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they, when they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion.
On third down, Wilson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Mecole Hardman, his fourth touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That sack came from the corner. On the corner blitz, it was Josh Jackson.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz call and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. They'll rifle this one deep right side, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Now here's Ross. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes. Back-to-back, what a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wilson to throw again. And the Raiders have got him. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Third and long, it's Wilson. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
After the interception, here's Watson being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
This is Cohen. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And how about the dime look here? 6 DBs on 3rd and inches.
Daring them to run the ball.
From the gun, Watson. He wants it all for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Mike Evans in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Gano the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the...
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Jonathan Abram picks it. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Another time now.
On first down, it's Watson. It's complete to Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Good set. 19. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Watch the screen.
They'll try the left side. Dobbins, and he's in. Touchdown, Raiders.
There we go.
Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
At their own 25-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half, Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The throw over the middle, taken in. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Wilson forced out to his left. He'll let this go end zone for Green. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything. That's
into the hands of Edwards. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 13-yard line. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. But it'll be second down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. That ball complete to Isabella. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Roquan Smith and the Raider D, they get the football back. The D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback, no chance on that 4th down.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Watson now to throw. He completes it to Jones. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Watch the run. Check 55. Check 53.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Watson. The screen pass here to Cohen. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. But now here's a deep shot that's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 15-yard line.
First down. Right here, guys. Fight 51.
From the red zone now, Watson. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Watson under pressure again, and down he goes again. Alec Ogletree in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs now leads to a third and long. Here's Watson, and a throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had...
That's caught inside the 20. A big pickup of 38. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now Wilson eluding the pressure right. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. That'll bring up second down. Throwing again here, Wilson. He's got it. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. DK Metcalf, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos cut into that lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that cuts this lead down to 13. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93%.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Now it's Watson rolling to his left. That's caught inside the 20. That one covers 29 yards. First down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Julio Jones there to make the grab. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. From the gun, here's Watson. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson, you got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Wilson to throw. Green brings it in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front.
And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a short return to the 6-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Throwing now, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Williams, his 2nd sack of the night. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Here's Watson. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down. On 1st down, Watson. He's going deep for Brown. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
It's going to be a long day. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Check 59.
Throwing again is Watson. Airing this one out for Evans. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. In a division game, it's usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for the Raiders.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot, and you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play, and you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the crown. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all peak the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, steady, back. Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all peak the flow. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, steady, back. But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My druidic code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, how about it? How about it? You want it, you have it, you got it. Go snatch it, skirt the lot. Go ahead, jump it, how about it, how about it? Rep for your bro, where your post, department, your projects. Pain driven, itching, drumming. Hey, look how far we coming. Heartbeat on the streets, you can do it. Ain't built for the weekend, sweet. This sugar, one man army, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods, damn out the clay. You wish you could. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My druidic code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, so suspenseful, I'm up in the field. Saw it in my eyes, it was the Tiger Hill. Gon' jump off the line and see the flight of field. Rewrite your history off this line right here. Your best bet be ahead, easy to get rich or dead. Trying, this ain't never new, I just be 10 steps instead. Snooze I won't, I can't lose, ready, rest or a bed. Do what you can to do, make it next move your best. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My druidic code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. I came to win.
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
STRO, I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support rod. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winter side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Play the beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coupes. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab the few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Show don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through.
Hello, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They come into this one fresh off a victory that finally snapped a 6-game losing streak.
And there's nothing like that win that makes everyone happier in the locker room, better on the practice field, and they usually play a whole lot better that next game out as well.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start, but I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. Brissett on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. A first carry now for Thompson. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, Brissett. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage. 17 on the play.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. To throw, Brissett. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. First carry now for Gus Edwards. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. On 2nd down, Brissett again. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Curtis Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs take it right down and score on the opening drive. Picking up where they left off before the open week that they had last week as they won going into that. And no signs of being stale.
No, and that's really big for them because there's a trust factor that goes into this. Because what often happens, if you win the game before your open week, you usually get more time off. But if you win the game before the open week, get more time off, and don't play well the next time out, that goes away. So they're making a statement that they like that time off.
Watson off play action. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
To throw is Watson. Steps away to his left. And that is incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Raider first down, 17 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you wonder, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. He can really smell 800 catches right now because that last one puts him at 799, knocking on the door. Watson now to throw, and he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
On first down, it's Watson. And it's caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Mike Evans, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point try good by Gano.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. These two teams all tied after 1.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Check 50. Check 50.
On 2nd and 12, Brissett. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now Brissett. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans, sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, the good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that time and change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flat.
Let's go, bro. Bring it up. Another time now. To the floor.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. As his guys are in for 6, and the Raiders have taken the lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there?
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. This one quickly into the hands of Landry. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Brissett. Goodwin able to haul it in. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, it's Edwards.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and this shows on the scoreboard.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. A nice run on 1st down gets him 6 yards to the 31. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. A throw over the middle, taken in, and inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. He's set now, 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 6 there on 1st. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. To throw again on second down. Brissett, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
He's going to rifle one. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Open man is Higgins. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now it's Watson. This pass complete to Higgins. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So they got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
His throw caught right around the 6. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Watson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. So we have reached halftime here, and there you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the 3rd quarter. A good pickup there, a 22. Watson on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They run. This is Cohen. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st and 10, Watson airing this one out for Evans. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Darius Slay with a pick. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Give him 13 yards there at a Kansas City first down. To throw is Brissett. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. Past the 20. 10. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyler Higbee, his 2nd. Touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. So the Chiefs opt to keep the offense out there, and they'll line up to go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground, and he's not going to get in as a try for 2 comes up empty. So they will be unable to cut this to a field goal as the differential remains 5. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen, and he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. That catch, he just hit number 800 in his NFL career.
And just think, that puts you in top 35 range all time in the NFL in terms of number of catches. One significant guy in that number, Shannon Sharp, who was a tight end. That's big-time play right there.
23 yards, the final tally. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Here's Watson.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size in front of him.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. The sack by the Super Bowl champion and Pro Bowler Jason Pierre-Paul.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now Watson. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Let's go, fellas.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field.
Watch the eye.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Let's go.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. Here's Edwards. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. On 2nd down, it's Thompson.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Brissett sets to throw it. Completes it to Samuel. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down. A first down throw for Brissett. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt. And
he's taken down. Back at his own 7. DeMarcus Lawrence. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
19 yards there on the catch and run. On 1st down, Watson going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
His throw caught at about the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 23 yards on the play.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Gano the extra point. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is
that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of it.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Well-timed effort by Darius Slay. A sack on the corner blitz.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. Well, he just needs a touchdown from the trifecta.
That's about all he needs.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point try good by Gano. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended it. He's got him in, complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Jarvis Landry, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Timmy Jernigan with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Dancing to his left. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in.
Pass interference. Defense.
So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. We're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop it. Short.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Brissett to throw on first. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. Throwing again on second down. Brissett. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Out of the gun, Brissett. And that will be incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense is going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
A great return there of 22 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Evans once again the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. And the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise in throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Throwing now, Watson. Going to throw deep for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with him.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on fourth. They will indeed snap it to Watson. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. From the red zone now, Watson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.